All right, looks like we're coming in live. I'm gonna give it just a second, make sure we are there. We are. Hey guys, welcome back to howtobuycrypto.com. I am just back in from work, all sweaty, and oh, it looks like my screen has shifted just a bit. I'm gonna try and move this for you guys real quickly. That's weird. I'm just gonna, I guess I can't really mess with it right now. Oh, I could, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Basically, I'm a little bit thrown off by my settings. I ran in from work here, guys, and let me just go ahead and jump over to share my screen and talk about the market. $150 billion, awesome. And oh yeah, let me just mention, if you guys are interested in $100 free crypto, Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're sharing the channel on Facebook or the YouTube channel, and it'll give you an extra, roll of the dice, I guess, an extra drawing, your name in the drawing for $100, man. It's going to pay to be a subscriber to either of these. But let's go back to the crypto market. Basically, look at this, man. Bitcoin's hanging out again in the $4,100 area. Ethereum 318. This is not much move from the last video. Bitcoin Cash, hey, evil 666. That's funny. So Litecoin made a bump up about $5 from last episode, and Monero's doing awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. OMG, I just wanted to mention, guys, I did pick some up today, and I'm pretty excited about the future of OMG. I don't know if you guys have been reading up on it, but I've intended to get on it earlier. On Neo was the same thing. I intended to get on it much earlier, but just it's hard to make everything happen, and I'm just going to have to deal with this camera being a little off skewed. But anyway, thank you everyone for contributing. We got 150 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and we've got over 5,000 views, guys. I'm very appreciative of every subscriber and every view that we get, and I value your feedback and your participation. So thank you for that. And I don't have a whole lot of time, but I did want to mention a couple of things. I had a question. And you know what, let me go ahead and show you. I did mention yesterday, Poloniex, I was showing you guys the proof of, bots coming in and placing orders so quickly that, I mean, it's just not possible for a human to be posting so quickly, with fractions of a second, auto buys and sells to one up the, the current buy and sell so that they get their order in before yours. And one of the ways that you could combat that is to break up your order into multiple buys and sells, so that when you put in an order, like let's say you're going to sell Bitcoin, you put in maybe 20% order and set it at a price, and then if somebody bids in above you, you've already you're ready to on the sell to put in another 20% at another price, and then somebody moves above you, and so that you're staggering your sales so that you can beat the system a little bit. And I can go back and show you guys again some more on that, but let me go over here and bring you to the channel and mention over here. I got a question, and this clearly to me this guy looks like he's trolling, man. I don't know, Pepe Madison, Nordic Mexican, who identifies as a Viking longboat. Yeah. So anyhow, look, what I did want to mention this, because there are some questions here that some people, I mean, generally about these type of questions, who controls the main database of Bitcoin, where, where the nodes are. Number one, well, let me just read through. Also, how do we know it's not the Fed and a Utah data center, if the world's getting on board with Bitcoin, if they can't use Google right? Why is it so difficult in Coinbase compared to other exchanges? What if they're compromised? What if Bitcoin is compromised? What if there's a war, power grid outage, takes down communications, or cyber weapon capable of stucknet capabilities? What happens then? So again, guys, I understand that these are kind of big hypotheticals, right? Number one, as far as the power grid going down and communications going down, you don't live your life on a day-to-day basis based on those things to happen, right? Those things absolutely can happen. We could have, EMP to take down most of the utilities and electric grids in the U.S. And yeah, absolutely that can happen. But number one, you don't live your life based on that, right? You don't have all your cash under your mattress because there's a possibility that you can't pull it out of the bank tomorrow because there may be an EMP. You don't live your life based on that. And, based on the fact that the US dollar is a digital currency and is controlled electronically and through databases. But you don't, have worries about that because we've used them for so long and we've come to trust them and come to be okay with using them. Oh, you know what, guys? I just noticed. I hope you guys. Yeah, you can hear me. I'm gonna bump up the quality in audio. I didn't have my. Okay, yeah, I didn't have my mic plugged in. That's sorry about that. So basically, the deal is, the you don't live your life based on those fears. Number one, Bitcoin is not controlled by one central database. Bitcoin is every node, every wallet that's connected to the network. Just like the internet, there's not one main database. There are ISPs, internet search providers, that are hubs, of control of that, of the internet. But if you take any one of them down, there are others that function, as the, as gateways to the internet. And so long as computers are connected together, there's still an internet. And so it's not, one main thing that can be, you can flip an off switch. And the other thing is, as far as ease of use, that's true that, a lot of people still don't know how to use Google. There's a lot of unbanked people in the world, in fact, that don't have, a savings account. They don't have a checking account. So there's, and in fact, they can't get one because they don't have regular jobs or they don't have access to a banking corporations or, in their regions. But the truth is, a lot of the world is getting cell phone technology. And with that comes the ability to use Bitcoin, and people are using Bitcoin in third world countries that otherwise aren't banked in, places like Zimbabwe and places like Venezuela, where their money systems have gone to nothing. The inflation's been ridiculous. So they're using Bitcoin and happy, with it the way it is. I don't know as far as, if they use Google or not, but they are learning and using Bitcoin to buy and trade things. So what if Bitcoin is compromised? Look, Bitcoin is, if you are familiar with bug bounties, people like Apple and Microsoft and large computer software companies have things called they're bug bounties, where if you can find a flaw or a bug in their software, they will pay you for finding that bug so that they can fix it right, so that they can adapt their software and grow it to be better than it was. And so they have bug bounties. Bitcoin is the largest bug bounty of them all. Let's see. Let me flip the screen here real quick and show you. Bitcoin right now, the circulating supply market cap, 68 billion right here. $68 billion bug bounty if you can find a flaw in Bitcoin. And it hasn't happened yet since, it's been 8-9 years, since Bitcoin's been around, and almost going to be a decade, and nobody has found a flaw in it. Nobody has compromised it. And the truth is, Coinbase can be compromised. Large exchanges can be compromised. But that's why people have their own wallets. That's why people are understanding that the only way to have safe money is to be able to hold it in your hands. It's the same as with our banking institutions. Our banks, technically, when you deposit your money, it becomes legally their money, and they let you use it. So it's the same thing. But like I said, you don't live your life based on these fears of this possibly happening. If there is nuclear war and there's EMPs that take down the grid, number one, an EMP shouldn't bother you because if a nuclear, a warhead goes off to where you're in the blast radius of the EMP, you're in the blast radius of the explosion. So the EMP is the last of your worries. The radiation and the heat from the blast in the first place are the concern there. So that's yeah, I understand these are things that people think about, and I understand that if you don't know, I've read a lot about these currencies. I've read a lot about the computer science behind it. So I guess I have some understanding of some of these concerns, so that I'm not concerned the same way that, other people are. I look now at, the adaptability to like the forks, that we're looking into. I talked about not liking Bitcoin Cash, and the same with the 2x. We're looking at another hard fork, and I don't like that idea. And my concern isn't if Bitcoin will survive. My concern is that these 2x will take a market share from Bitcoin, which will not be happy about. But I'm not worried about its long-term longevity. I'm just worried. Well, like I said, it's just kind of a concern. I don't want that to happen. And so I look at things differently. But these questions are good to reflect and to think about. And because people ask me all kinds of questions like this, and come up with hypotheticals that are apocalyptic hypotheticals that it's good to think about, and to determine whether I have answers to those things so that I can respond to them adequately. And overall, so even though it's like a trolling post or by someone that doesn't seem like they really understand Bitcoin that well, I still, it's still some things that people similar to what people ask me. So I thought I would bring that up. And anyhow, guys, there is a tropical storm coming this way, possibly hurricane. And so I might not be able to post a video tomorrow or over the weekend. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This may be my last post for the week, and maybe I'll be able to get a cell phone, a crypto video out. But it just really depends on the weather. A lot of times when we have thunderstorms, well, not just thunderstorms, like tropical, storms and more severe weather, the internet goes down, our power goes down. And so I might not be able to do something like this for a few days. But anyhow, weekend will pass, new week will come up, and we'll see more videos. So regardless, hey guys, email me your questions, marco@howtobuycrypto.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, on YouTube. If you want to get your name into the crypto drawing, share, and you'll get your name in more times, better chance to win. There's only 150 on the YouTube channel. There's only like maybe 95 or so on the Facebook. So it's a good chance you're going to walk away with $100 more of crypto. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up. God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.